Welcome back to CN2 Sports. I'm Lucas McFadden. Hey, we're talking soccer, and it just goes to show just how big soccer is here in York County. We now have the first ever York County Soccer Hall of Fame. This is really exciting. I want you to meet two guys that are on the board. Now, this guy we know very well, Rich Posipanko, the former Winthrop men's soccer coach, not basketball, soccer coach. Coach Posipanko has been such a good friend of ours and such a good friend of soccer in our community. We're so lucky to have him join us today. We also have Jeff. And Jeff, I'm going to let you introduce your last name because I don't want to butcher it.
Sure, Muschik.
Muschik. Okay. Now, Jeff, you played for Posipanko at Winthrop. Talk first a little bit about what that dynamic was like. What was Coach like as a coach?
He was a little bit different back in the day. A little bit feistier. You know, winning was very important to him and the program, rightfully so. College Division I program. Winning is very important. Enjoyed playing for him for 4 years. Was the captain for 2 years. Gaffer was good to me. The program was good to me, and wanted to stick around in the area afterwards.
Now, Coach, this is not, we love Coach Posipanko hour, but we really do. It goes to show you, you really have had an impact on that program, that you stay in touch with a lot of your former players.
Well, you try to, but there's so many out there, and we have so many international guys that sometimes it's tough to do that. But I'll tell you, social media's made it a lot easier.
That's true. Now, you were the men's soccer coach at Winthrop for how long?
27 years.
27 years. Yeah. My gosh. And you saw the sport of soccer grow to what it is now. What was that curve like? What did you see it go from to what it's like today?
Well, when I first got here, I mean, there was very little in terms of facilities. And when Manchester Meadows came on board 12 or 14 years ago, it sort of changed the dynamics for everything. I mean, that's sort of the rallying point for the community as far as soccer goes. But it's come a long way. I mean, it's by far as far as numbers go, the largest in the county for participation, and it's all the way from youth to adults.
Jeff, what was it about soccer for you that you really just fell in love? What age were you? Did you get involved with the junior leagues? Talk about your rise to love soccer.
So I actually started playing when I was 5 years old. My dad was just a volunteer who ended up being the coordinator and got me involved with that. But then as being the coordinator for the teams, he also got me involved in refereeing. So I started blowing a whistle when I was about 11 years old.
Gosh.
So as a player and a referee, I've kind of come a long way over the years. And that soccer experience brought me to Winthrop. And then beyond that, even to doing MLS refereeing now. So,
I was going to say, talk about that. Boy, that's an exciting gig.
It is. It's exciting. This is my 11th year in the league. Been doing it for a long time. You know, we've got a professional league here in Charlotte, which the GAF is associated with. And that's exciting. I've done some of those games as a referee. And it's great, travel the country, be involved at soccer at the highest level, and it gives me a chance to give back some of that knowledge to the soccer community here.
So here we are, 2019, and York County has its first ever Soccer Hall of Fame. Coach, how did this come about?
Well, I mean, we're kicking around a number of people in the community. We're kicking it around for about 2 years, and I said, well, let's get it done. Let's do it. We put a board together, and that's how we got started. In fact, we're going to be inducting our inaugural class not inducting them, but selecting them this Tuesday night.
When you go and looking at any sport Hall of Fame class or certain criteria, especially the first year for a brand new, what are you looking for? What kind of insight can you tell us?
Well, I mean, the people we're looking at, and again, I knew names. I've been here for 33 years, so there was names that I knew, but didn't really know what they did. And when you talk to some of these old timers and get these stories. Because back then coaches weren't getting paid to coach. I mean, it was all volunteer. But I think it's going to be a learning experience for some of the soccer people when we select some of these names. They're going to learn exactly who started and who did what in the early years.
Jeff, what was it about being on the board that attracted you to it?
Well, Gaff and I had kind of kicked around some ideas about this, and we recognized that there was a need for something like this in York County. I've got some experience with my own Hall of Fame back where I'm from, and we thought it would be something that would be valuable to the community, especially the soccer community, because there's really not a lot of awareness of some of the accomplishments of a lot of folks that have started soccer in the area or really pushed it along or some of the folks that have been very successful at it.
And that's a great point, and I hope that is what will move forward when we talk about the York County Soccer Hall of Fame, is that it's a very popular sport, but sometimes people play it because it's good exercise, their kids love it, it is a good quality of life, but then also to pause and think, like, who played before me, so we have the facilities that we have the programs at Winthrop that we have along those lines. So in the days ahead, you guys will work to select your first inaugural class, then they will be inducted in August, Saturday, August the 31st, and talk about the home. Who will house the York County Soccer Hall of Fame, Coach?
Well, right now we're trying to work with Manchester Meadows, and we should find something out in the next week or two if we're going to be able to do it there, which would be ideal because obviously that's the rallying point for the community. So hopefully that's going to work out.
Perfect. All right. Well, it's the York County Soccer Hall of Fame. The Hall of Fame induction dinner and ceremony will take place at the Courtyard Marriott there in Fort Mill on Saturday, August the 31st. We're so happy for this to come to light, and I know a lot of hard work, 2 years in the making, and these guys are just some of the ones that made it come to life. And Jeff and Coach Rich Posipanko, thank you guys so much. We appreciate your leadership.
Appreciate it.
All right, well, that will do it for this Thursday edition of CN2 News. We'll see you back here tomorrow, Friday, starting at 6 p.m. with a brand new newscast. Have a good night.